Did Josh get that link?
You know what? I just sent it to him as well. So we are live on the air right now. I just sent it to him as well. So that means that he should be coming in too.
Okay, let me try this right.
Looking sharp, counselor. Looking sharp.
Long day.
I bet there's a lot of long days. So right now there are about 145 people watching live, and so we're just going to wait for Josh to come in, and then we're going to get the questions started. Okay, how are you doing today?
Tired already.
What are you tired from? It was 4 p.m. out on the East Coast.
I've been doing interviews all day for some of the sexual assault cases at mental health hospitals that I'm handling, where some of the teens in the adolescent ward have been getting raped by the staff and by other kids.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I'm speechless on that. Wow. I don't even know what to say. How did you even come into this life of defending people, sexual assault victims? Is that well, I know that you do some business stuff as well, but how do you do business on one part and then sexual assault on the other?
It started with some of the big civil rights cases that I handled, like Walter Scott in South Carolina when he was running and got shot on video. And then Alton Sterling, which we all saw in Baton Rouge, where the officers shot him while he was down. And then I had a kid that was sexually assaulted at a daycare and took that to trial and got a good verdict. And then after that, older woman who was at a hotel, they gave away the key card to some crazy guy, and he went in her room and raped her.
You handled that?
Mm-hmm. And
I saw that yesterday, and some guy she had met at the bar, and he was like chatting her up, and then he found out her room number, and then she had the lock on the door. He went back down, got staff to come up and take the hook off from the outside. That case?
No, but it sounded exactly like that. This one was here in South Georgia. She didn't have the lock on the door, but he did go get the key card. He did meet her in the bar, but she left, and he came in there and he raped her. So I sued the hotel for giving the key card away to a stranger. And then after that, a lot of victims of sexual assault just started calling, and that was 10 years ago.
Really? Oh, wow, really? You know what? I'm going to check and see what's going on with Josh, and because we might have to just get started. You're using your phone, so you can't text him, right? Let me send him a message.
Let me text him real quick.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm gonna get my own camera set up. So hello, everybody. Welcome in. Right now, we are talking with Chris Stewart from Jasmine Eiland's. He is the person heading. So he's with Stewart Law Team, and he's the one heading the investigation. Well, the trial right now with Jasmine Eiland. So welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Oh, look, there's Joshua.
Hi, this is Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine, let me call you right back.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on?
All right, everybody's looking so good over there. Let me get my camera set up on the tripod because I'm using my laptop to broadcast, because that's how Google does it for us. All right. All right, so here we go. So are you two ready to get into it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
All right, so perfect. All right, so there's so many questions. And I'm going to take a few questions from the audience as well. All right. So, you know what? First of all, how is Jasmine?
She's good. She's hanging in there.
Yeah, definitely just got off the phone with her. So she's stronger than what she was in the beginning, but it's going to take a lot of healing, and it's a long process, a lot of therapy to get her through it. But she's getting a little bit stronger.
Okay. And so, I watched the hearing before the grand jury, but I didn't see you two there. What was going on?
You mean no, that was just the preliminary hearings. They're taking it to the grand jury, I think, in the next upcoming weeks for the grand jury. That was just to see if he would get bond or anything like that. But, the biggest thing is that's the criminal portion, and that's up to the DA and their team. We handle the civil part and the community part. We stay out of their lane. They stay out of ours, and they just have to do their job just like we're doing ours.
Oh, so there's two different cases then, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, the district attorney handles the prosecution of the defendant. So we don't have anything to do with the criminal case other than, saying that, she wants him charged. But, it's totally up to the district attorney to prove the criminal case.
Oh, okay. And so then you guys are coming in on the civil side. And so the civil side is for like a personal suit or
I gotta pause this. You mean to tell me she don't know the difference between criminal and civil? And I don't got nobody to tell me if they can hear me or not, but let me see if I can hear myself. But she don't know the difference between civil and criminal. Okay.
the suit against the club.
Yes.
Okay, so all of that, so the charge that he came up with, aggravated sodomy, you all don't have anything to do with that?
No, that's the charge that the DA came up with. The only thing we have to do is help Jasmine participate with the district attorney's office and giving them information,
cooperate,
interviews, sitting down with her, helping them collect evidence.
Oh, I see. And so did you ever find out how many, because I saw the press conference that you all did where you said that there was 1/4 of the staff available, or 1/4 of security available on the night of the party.
Yeah.
Did you ever find out how many security guards were actually there?
We're in full litigation now, so depositions will be coming up of the staff, of the people that were there. Discovery will be coming out. So all of that information, will be public soon.
Oh, okay. And then speaking of public, does anybody know when the tox screen is coming back, or the rape kit?
The way that works, since it was done up there, they have to ship it here to Georgia, to the DA, and then it goes to the GBI for expert testing. The GBI is Georgia Bureau of Investigation. So it's, through a long custody chain, but that's the typical procedures, and they take a while. You got to imagine how many victims there are everywhere where something has happened in Georgia, and it has to go to GBI testing.
Okay, so because there are people who are saying that the rape kit came back, his DNA was not found. Can you speak to people who are saying things like that?
Well,
sure,
it's simply not true. It's not back, and we don't have it. The DA doesn't have it. Nobody has it. Except the people that are processing everything. So as soon as it comes back, we'll be the one to address everything. But nothing has came back yet. So all of that is just false.
Okay, so all of these people, because the people have whole videos saying, "Oh, his DNA was not found on her. Oh, she did not. She was not drugged. She was just drunk, etc." And so you're saying that is not back yet, and that those people who are making those videos they have bad information, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not even bad information. They're just wrong. Or making it up, either way. And even let's say that a woman was drunk and was raped, so that makes it okay.
Right.
Just if it wasn't drugs, if she was too intoxicated to consent, it's fine then. So
well, I know you saw the preliminary hearing, right? And Shaquelle, she is under the impression that Miss Eiland looked like she was enjoying it, so there is no probable cause. What do you say about that?
We won't address Miss Ross, her behavior and her things that she's brought up referencing us. I've been practicing for almost 15 years. I think she's been practicing for about 2. I have too much respect for other African-American lawyers to say anything negative about them. publicly or critique how they're handling a case or things that they've said. If they cross the line too far, there's other means that it could be handled legally, but I won't say anything negative about her behavior or how she's handled the case. How she wants to handle it or how she wants to talk or what she wants to say publicly, that's on her. But one thing I've learned from practicing so long and having the success that I've had is you have to be aware of what you say on social media because it has legal ramifications.
Oh, does it? Does it?
Yeah, we just put it like that. Watch what you say, because I mean, you can get in trouble by saying the wrong thing. So just watch what you say.
She always sound like
Oh,
that.
wow. Okay, so the audience is saying they like your attitude, Chris. And there are other people who want you to speak to the rumors of people getting paid for testimony. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have happened in this situation that I've never seen in the over 3,000 cases that I've handled. That's disheartening. You know, especially handling a lot of civil rights cases where the African American community is behind me 100%, and I'm fighting against racists and, you know, hate groups and things like that. And we're unifying, supporting a young Black male who was killed. If we're out protesting in the streets with Black Lives Matter or whoever it is that's supporting us, it has been a little disheartening seeing that a woman didn't get this same type of support. She got the opposite of being attacked. And I get it. Look, I handle a lot of cases that are in the news. A lot of people will take these cases and just try and become famous on YouTube or popular online or on Instagram by making rumors, by making fake information. I get it. That's cool. You know, they're trying to get theirs. But
lies.
Oh, wow. You know what? Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that.
Why are they all worried about
you know,
YouTube?
you bring up the racist, and you bring up 2 points that I wanna jump into. Do you want to talk about the gender part first or the race part first?
Oh, it's your world.
All right. So you know what? Let's talk about the gender, and then we'll circle back around to the race aspect of it. So you're saying that it's sad that a woman did not get the support that you've seen other Black men who have been victimized, or other Black people, young or old, get the same type of support publicly. And you know, I was on this story from the night that it broke, and I've been vlogging about it, and even my comment section is very, very toxic, with a lot of people even coming out attacking me, feeling that I should shut up, be quiet, sit down, close my mouth, etc. And people who are of the impression that Jasmine did something to bring this on herself. Let's talk about the social part of.
Hey, lady, it's not an impression. Can you hear me? You can hear me, Queen? Just let me know in the comments. But that's not an impression. This is fake. Faker than fake, if you ask me. And he just glides right over the fact that she's pregnant, pantyless, drinking, smoking, splitting, twerking, cursing people out, saying, August, you can rape me.
This and how we treat rape. Let's talk. Let's bring it to the forefront.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's something that is a touchy subject, because it's something that, of course, men don't want to acknowledge, and that, you know, it's easy to find something to try and say a woman invited it to happen. Her dress was too short. Her outfit.
We seen nothing happen. There's no DNA in her, and y'all still going on with this facade. Now y'all trying to find clipped off fingernail in her. Get out of here.
It was too revealing. She, you know, was dancing with the man first, whatever it may be, until she says yes, or let's do it, you know, then it's not consent. You know, I mean, you know, like, there's just not an excuse.
If I saw the victim shamers, it doesn't matter if a woman is walking around butt naked if she says, no, stop, don't do this to me, that you probably shouldn't do it.
I'm pausing because they're ushering the period now that you can be having sex with a woman, and when she says stopping sex, if you thrust one more time, that's going to be considered rape, y'all. And they're going to be taking money from celebrities and all that. So you hear me telling you first, that's what this is about.
Because you'll get arrested. When she says, no, stop, don't do this, there's no excuse to keep doing it. It doesn't matter what she was wearing. It doesn't matter if she was walking around naked. If she says no, she doesn't want to do it, there's no excuse.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take it a little step further than that, because there are some states that state that a person does have to say no. But then there are other states that state the absence of a yes. The absence of a no doesn't equal a yes, so that she doesn't even have to say no if she's not able to consent. Because if there's a person who's passed out and she's not able to say no.
That's true. That's true. Like,
yeah. I mean, if a woman is too intoxicated,
right,
and can't consent, then, you know, that will be rape. You know, if a child is a minor, even if they said yes, they can't consent. They're not of the age to consent. You know, so, you know, that goes into the whole, and that's an argument in the R. Kelly accusations is, you know, that even minors can't consent. So, you know, it's.
Look, and in this situation, even if she didn't say no, stop.
Your man brought R. Kelly up. Can y'all hear me? Put it in the comments. Your man brought R. Kelly up.
Please don't do this to me. Help. She was still too intoxicated to give consent. So absent all of that, it still will be the same situation.
Okay. And then so let's circle back to the race aspect of it. Did you get a chance to hear Mr. Williams' rogue interview from jail?
Yes.
Okay. And he said, we're trying to take a black man down. They're trying to. What are your thoughts about that? With you two being black men.
Thank you. I probably got this too loud.
I mean, you know, what else can he say? I'm sure he and his people are monitoring social media and seeing, you know, that, you know, comment, and are trying to ride it and, you know, get people to ignore the fact that he is on video doing what he did, and take his side just because he's saying he's a black man. It's taken us, what, 20 years now for them finally to bring charges again against R. Kelly. And he's a black man, and I don't see too many people riding for him right now. So, you know.
Including you. You not riding for him.
Yeah, I don't understand that, because it doesn't matter if he was black, white, Asian. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And you do something wrong, I mean, you gotta face the consequences.
And that's the thing, you know, which is what's been really interesting about this is when I'm going after a white police officer that's killed
there go the race
a
baiting.
young black kid in a city, I don't see too many comments from white people like, you trying to take a white man down or do this or do that. And when I do see those comments, they're from a hate group or they're from a racist. You know, so, you know, no one complains when I'm going after a white cop for killing a black man.
Right, but then, you know, so then this circles right back around to the gender aspect of it. Why do you think there's such a huge disconnect in the black community with, okay, so we'll rally behind you when there's a black man who's been victimized, but now that there's this black woman who is seen on, we've seen the video. We've seen her slumped over catatonic, and we've seen this man carry her off into some other area. We've seen her saying no, stop, etc.
Why they skip over? We seen her slumped over, scrolling through Facebook, looking for the instructions to the next scene, perhaps. Some say.
But there's still this disconnect. Why?
It still baffles me to this day with my sexual assault victims of, you know, how people just won't believe them, even when there's literal proof, even when there is, I mean, DNA test of his semen in her, and they're still saying,
shut up with that DNA. Ain't no DNA in there. Shut up.
You know, it's one of those things of, I don't know what the problem is or what the issue is. I mean, you know, it's on video with her screaming no and don't do that.
And it is on video a year prior to that of her saying, help me, for no reason, all right? You just skip over all that. Everything you got as evidence, people got the same thing as her faking it. Everything. Everything. Y'all talk about her bent over in a canatotic state. People got her on another video showing that she's actually canatonic enough to scroll through Facebook. Those no's were fake, and after the fake assault happened, she still partied it up, went to a Waffle House, made a post in her hotel and said, had the greatest time of my life, don't regret a thing. Come on, man. Y'all need to stop this.
It's one of them things of what more do you want? I know all the dudes that I'm cool with and grew up with, and most black dudes I know.
And you see how this lawyer starts slumming and stooping down to the level of where he think people are dudes, and you don't call nobody dudes when you're dealing with any other race. Why are you on this show calling people dudes? And that's not even a term that black people are fond of. So this is the most hood he could be right now. I don't even think he's American.
If a girl is drunk or out of her mind like that, or you just leave her alone. You don't even know her. You just met her.
He's too booky. Don't y'all notice that he's too book smart, just like Tanya TKO? We already know she's not American. You can hear her accent. Plus the fact that everybody's gravitating to her, you could tell she's not American. People don't gravitate to Americans like that. But I'm thinking he's foreign. I don't know about this other guy. He's just probably soft or whatever, but I'm thinking he's foreign. This guy remind me Haitian a little bit. You know who else he remind me of? Who had just got a Haitian lawyer? I forgot who was just suing somebody and they got that lawyer from Haiti. Somebody got to remind me of that. I'm going to ask in a group or on the live one day. Let me get back to this. Chris Stewart is the worst. Alton Sterling, you bring up no support for black men, but Alton Sterling's 18-year-old son stayed in jail and probably still in jail now. I should probably look it up. For touching some little boy that somebody left him to babysit. Where's his support, Chris Stewart? You roll for his father. You probably got a third of the settlement. Where's justice for Alton Sterling Jr.? I'm just asking.
Right. It's not like you came there with her. That's your homegirl. Walk away. It ain't worth it. Like it ain't even that.
He's putting
serious.
on these stupid,
like he didn't have
silly looking faces,
holding her up or dancing or whatever. Like just dip.
Right.
Just leave. It ain't that serious.
And if you look at it,
he enjoyed that she was
right.
Not in control.
He enjoyed. Shut up.
And if you look at it, majority of the people, they are in support of Jasmine because the video evidence is right there. And a lot of this hate and the naysayers looking at it is from a lot of fake pages. So real people, they have real lives and have real morals and real values. Those are the ones that are in support of Jasmine. And the ones that are saying all this stuff, you look at them, it's fake pages.
Okay, so all right. So what I'm hearing you say is that the vast number, because there are a lot of people, because I have videos up. I have an entire playlist.
You said you can't hear the interview? You can't hear the interview? Let me see if I can hear it on my phone.
Of Jasmine Eiland videos, and there are a lot of people who have come out even attacking me. So what you're saying is that that those people are most likely creating multiple accounts and just going around trolling, that the vast majority of people are actually in support. Is that what you're saying?
Or they're going off of the information which isn't right. Like the rape kit came back already and it was negative. That's just not correct. Or that
nobody's saying that, Chris. People are saying that rape kits don't take 2 months. What the fake is wrong with y'all? Stop playing people for stupid. All right. See, YouTube has been doing the same stupid stuff too. They always throw out these stupid terms these phantom people always say, but they never correct the concern that people have. How long does a rape kit take to come back, Chris? You notice he ain't going to bring that up. This is what we call glazing over facts. These dudes are the worst. These foreign psyops are getting worse and worse.
She went out with him afterwards. So, you know, people are literally believing stuff that is just totally not true. You know, it's just literally not true. And a lot of people are just running with, you know, the wrong facts.
Right. And the ones that are running with those facts, they clearly didn't see the video, the second video. A lot of people haven't seen the second video when he carried her into the secluded area and he's telling her be quiet, and she's saying, no, please don't do this to me. A lot of people haven't seen that video. So
totally not cool to me.
It's just baffles me how, you know, how everything's going right now.
Well, you know what? I have that video up inside the playlist, and there are people who have seen that video and they're like, well, you can't really tell what's going on. He's telling her to stand up. He's just trying to get
real results. Ain't no results. She wasn't touched. Rape kits. All right, I'm going to look up on the internet right now. Then I'm going to put on the screen how long it takes a rape kit to come back, just as a receipt, because I'm, like, tired of this fake case. You know what? I'm not interested in it. Since I put the channel on private, I'm not even interested in it no more because it's so far-fetched.
Get her to stand up because he was the good Samaritan, because, you know, he says he's ex-military and he worked as security and all this other stuff. And then in the in your press conference, you said that there was actually a person who entered onto the patio and was like, hey, stop.
Yeah, they were, he took her to an area that nobody was in. It was dark. You're not supposed to be out there.
You would have had them in court.
There was no security to stop them.
There's always these fancy people.
And he put her on his lap and did whatever it is that he's going to do. If you freeze frame,
I'm not
that's her
rewinding
thigh sitting on his lap where she's screaming no.
He put on a glass.
And then finally someone comes and says, you're not supposed to be back here. Get out of here. I just don't understand why it was that serious to keep needing to hang out with her or be around her when you just met her in there. You don't know her. And yet you feel the need to carry her off into some area. What he said in his original interview that he did for
I bet you we could find him in some JCPenney in France or something like that.
That is not where
catalogs
she was sitting. That wasn't a seating area.
Went from JCPenney catalog model to United States.
He also said in that first interview, which he probably did
some
before he got a lawyer. Maybe he had a lawyer, but he shouldn't have made those
statements.
I'm
not going to ruin the surprise of how long a rape kit takes. I'm just gonna post.
We know that's not true. So, you know, it just is what it is, and you know, I'm not gonna try and break down and argue every single fact with on social media. You know, a lot of people.
And this is why I'm not listening to
ask a question.
People that think
I won't really respond because you know my battles are in the court.
That's on them.
I don't have to prove anything to anybody.
That's on them, man. I don't got time to sit there and convince 2 million people one at a time that this is
black people, no matter what. You know, whether it's a cop case or a woman getting raped. So that's like when racists tell me shut the fuck up and stop talking, stop fighting for that family when it's a police shooting. Well, that ain't gonna work to shut me up. So, you know, we're gonna do our job in this too.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I do. Can we talk about the particulars of what occurred that evening? Because I have some questions that I'm curious about.
Lies.
Yeah, depends on which one. You know, we're in full litigation, so yeah, as this will be watched by the defense team 100 million times.
Okay. So you said that there are people who are believing that she went out with him afterwards, and I've also heard rumors like that too. But then I've also seen
Nobody said that ever. They're just throwing out
However,
fake
in the nightclub, the timeline is stated that she was turning up, having a good time. Then she became dilapidated. Right? He carried her off to a separate area. The police officer who testified at the thing said they walked back out of the patio area together. And then after that was the concert. And then that's when her friend came around that time. And then after that, she got on stage. After she got off of the stage, she came back and hung out with Mr. Williams. Is that how it went?
No. You know, the videos speak for themselves. You know, we're not going to break down every single thing, but the videos speak for themselves. The video of her friend saying that Jasmine kept saying that he raped me. That video speaks for itself. It's out there. For all the people that said she didn't say anything that night, just watch the video of her friend.
And that's Jbug video he's talking about. Yeah. Go back and watch
Jbug.
So
no lawyer is gonna call people by nicknames.
Right there for people to see and put it together. It's just, what do you want to decide that you believe? Do you believe a woman screaming and saying that someone's doing something to me and no? Or do you want to believe, things that you want to make up?
Did she enter the dance contest after the alleged assault?
It said it takes a few hours.
Well,
why does hers take a month? How big is her snatch?
All right.
Let's pause.
So that is a good question. After which, because there were two.
Now,
look, this was done 4 hours ago. I guess he did it today. Jasmine got raped when? In February or January? The end of January, right? Why do rape kits take a few hours and hers hasn't came back yet? Can somebody let me know that? Is this real or fake? Let's see. I'm pausing it. Let's read, please. Because if I'm not mistaken, DNA evidence of a crime like sexual assault can be collected from a crime scene, but it can also be collected from your body and other personal belongings. You may choose to have a sexual assault forensic exam, sometimes known as a rape kit, to preserve possible DNA evidence and receive important medical care. You don't have to report the crime to have an exam, but the process gives you the chance to safely store evidence should you decide to report at a later time. To find the location, yada, yada, yada. You may, the scroll, that shit messed up, but let's see if I could get us to scroll a little. But let's just see, because obviously they know ignorant people won't look things up. So now let's find out why a rape kit takes a month. And we know this is garbage. We know this is a lie. We know people got locked up like damn near the same day rape kits get. Come on, man. But again, you're dealing with people that think they dealing with an ignorant demographic. But look at anybody that believes these people. You got to be ignorant to believe a pregnant, smoking, whatever, man. I'm not getting into this shit. Sorry. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Capital ridiculous, even. And when I say capital ridiculous, I mean capital ridiculous. And now this shit is so small on my screen, you damn near can't even read it. Thanks. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for all you do. Well, I'm going to read it off the computer. I just want to find out how many damn months they expect us to think it takes for a rape kit to come back. You just heard her lawyer say the rape kit hasn't came back yet and just moved on. Why hasn't it came back? Normally, how does it, come on, man. Their demographic and their audience, they don't deserve answers like that. They're just stupid people that want to hear a black man get persecuted. You're going to get that. Yep, you're going to get that. And they're going to stay persecuting us. So when your sons are getting persecuted and they got fake little news stories that's distracting the whole population, don't feel like you're alone. Know you're alone. And know that you contributed to other people being alone by focusing your attention on this. Some say. Yeah, I'm waiting for my Google Chrome. I hope it hurries up. I'm going to play this interview while we wait for Google Chrome, I guess. But come on, man. She said a couple of hours. It's been a month and change already. But again, you're dealing with people that rather look for YouTubers than to look up how long rape kits take.
In this situation. But like I said, the video speaks for themselves. One thing that, I try and teach younger lawyers is when you start trying to argue the case and break down every fact in every single interview, instead of doing it in a courtroom and against defense counsel, you will make an error. You will say something, then you'll try and change it later in another interview, which will be saved and used against you in court, or you'll harm your client. So it's best to just stick to what you plan to talk about.
So basically, look, it says you may have heard the term rape kit to refer to a sexual assault forensic exam. The term rape kit actually refers to the kit itself, a container that includes a checklist, materials, and instructions, along with envelopes and containers to packages and any specimen is collected during the exam. A rape kit may also be referred to as a sexual assault evidence kit, SAEK, SAKE. The contents of the kit vary by state and jurisdiction and may include, I want to see if I can pull this list up for y'all so y'all can at least see it on screen, because we're dealing with some foreign pathological liars. Alright, so if you want, I will also enlarge the joint so you can actually see the list. I hope this is suffice, queens and kings, if you're watching. Alright. So, bags, paper, sheets for evidence collection, a comb, documentation. It also says up there that you got to do it within 72 hours of the alleged incident. Envelopes, instructions, materials for blood samples, swabs. Preparing for sexual assault if you're able to try to avoid activities that could potentially damage evidence, such as bathing and showering. We know she didn't go the same night, so she just went there dirty. That's something else. Using the restroom. She couldn't even use the restroom, yo. Changing clothes even, so she didn't change clothes. Comb hair. Cleaning up area. We didn't hear about them going to the club and shutting it down as a crime scene. So check that out. It's natural to want to go through these motions after the traumatic experience. If you have done any of these activities, you can still have an exam performed. And let me just pull it up so y'all will have that receipt on the screen. If you have done any of these activities, you can still have an exam performed. You may want to bring a spare change of clothes with you to the hospital or a healthy facility where you're going to have the exam. In most cases, DNA evidence needs to be collected in 72 hours in order to be analyzed by a crime lab, but a sexual assault forensic exam can reveal other forms of evidence beyond this time frame that can be useful. Useful isn't prevalent all the time. If you decide to report, place your belongings, including your clothes you're wearing, in a paper bag to safely preserve the evidence. If you have questions about the time frame, why not plastic? You can call. Yo, check this out. When the last time you seen a big paper bag? Like, come on, dog. They're like stupid. What they mean, just your panties? If they mean just your panties, they put your panties. Don't say put your clothes. When the last time you seen a big paper shopping bag? Like, never mind. If you have any questions, you can call a hotline. I might call a hotline, dog, and ask them how long it take a rape kit to come back, because at the end of the day, I don't see it yet. Oh, I think they did put how long. How long is the exam? The length of the exam may take a few hours, but the actual time will vary based on several different factors. It may be helpful to have someone to support you during this time. If you call a National Sexual Assault Hotline, contact a local sexual assault provider, you may be connected with an advocate who can talk to you about the examination and offer support. The advocate may also be able to accompany you during the actual exam. Be aware that if you invite someone other than an advocate into the exam room, they could be called as a witness if you decide to report the crime. Did anybody notice she never brought up anybody that went with her? What happens during it? I'm not getting into this. Who could perform? Why should you consider? How long will the evidence be stored? That's not what we're asking. The amount of time evidence kit will be stored varies. Alright, so this don't even tell us how long it takes to come back. Yep, it don't have nowhere in there. How long it takes to come back? I'm gonna look for somewhere else. I would call that hotline. But it's late. And I specifically put how long does it take for a rape kit to come back. I'm gonna put the interview back on. This liar is a slippery, lying nobody. Go get Alton Sterling's touching little kids allegedly son out of jail, man.
Not open yourself up to things that can harm your client.
Okay, I got you on that. I know you said this before, but for the people who don't know, how was she able to hold up her phone?
She had a phone.
Oh
hook,
boy, that same hook.
Like a hook on the back of your hand. That is actually
smart enough to have a hook on her phone, but not panties on.
It like this.
Let me say that again.
And the phone won't fall off.
Smart enough to have a hand hoop on her phone, but not to have panties on, and she's pregnant, drinking and smoking. No problem. I can see what she was prepared for.
So it was attached to her hand.
Okay.
All right. Now I just
and so that's how she was able to walk and not be in full control of her faculties and be able to have the phone connected to this ring.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not in control of herself, but she's got. Come on, man. Come on.
Then if we talk about you two both being black men involved in a case,
she's Jamaican, yo. She's Jamaican or some shit. West Indian.
Oh well, you guys are not prosecuting Dominique at all, right?
No, we have nothing to do with.
They only use the term black when it benefits them.
You know,
like right now she can use the term black because she wants black subscribers. She wants to be looked at as a black icon. And then when she gets to a plateau, she'll tell people where she's from, and they could kiss her ass at that point, like everybody else do.
Since we just started.
Look at Idris Elba.
Okay.
He told you he don't
and
like
so
American
it was stated that the club was sold last year or bought by a Las Vegas company last year.
Las Vegas, where Zach was.
Since they've bought it, there have not been any rapes on record since they've bought the club, right?
There's been no rapes.
Yeah, Jasmine's.
Okay. So that sexual assault is the only one since then. And are we sure that this company that bought it is a whole fresh new company, not related to any of the other companies before?
Well, that's the catch. You know, when a company buys another company, they have to do something called a due diligence check, which is where you look at the crime that's happened at the place that you're about to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars to buy. You look at the crime that's happened inside your club. You look at the staff. If there's any issues where they've allowed something to happen, you look at everything. You would be well aware that 3 rapes have happened inside your club and that there was an alleged sex club upstairs in the VIP bathroom that led to a minor underage girl getting raped in the bathroom. And you would make changes to security.
Hold on. This is new information. The person who was allegedly assaulted in the bathroom upstairs was a minor?
Yes, she never should have been in the club. She was not 21.
Now, boy.
Oh, gracious.
Now they were minor got assaulted.
Okay.
Now
and so you said that there was this, and so how did you hear about this quote unquote sex club? How did you find out about this?
Because the person who was arrested for that was known and had nothing to hide about him filming on Facebook Live, having sex with women in the upstairs VIP bathroom. And people were watching. A lot of people watched it on Facebook Live. And he was arrested because one of the women said that he raped her. So we heard about that case. I was shocked to hear about this situation that was happening, and what he was doing was tipping the security guard that was working that area, and the guard would just look the other way.
Oh, what in the world? Okay. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
This lawyer is like the best
I'm sorry,
cop
this
ever.
is just so stunning.
He talks too much.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is
he talks too much.
that there was this alleged sex ring that was operating on the second floor of Club Opera.
You see this?
Where
you see this bullcrap? What's going on, Miss Don D? What up, lady? You see this bullcrap?
Where the rapes had taken place in the past.
Look at this on the
when
screen.
The new owners came in from Las Vegas and bought it, they had to have been made aware of this history of sexual problems and violence in this club, correct?
Well, all the assaults weren't just happening in the bathroom. We talked to a young lady this week who was sexually assaulted on a sofa, sitting in the sofa on the regular floor. She was being sexually assaulted because she passed out and was unconscious. And when she awoke and when her friend came running over, she was in the midst of being sexually assaulted in the middle of the club. So it's not all just in the bathroom.
Okay.
So what it is, you know, you become aware of issues and you don't decrease security. You especially don't decrease security if you know you're having a concert.
All right. And then one of the things that I thought was really shocking during that news report where they broke the story about this rape ring, right, is that when they talked with APD, that APD said that they don't think that this is a problem in clubs in Georgia. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it could be a problem with a club anywhere. It's just who's looking into it. You know, if Jasmine wouldn't have happened to have her Facebook Live on, she probably never would have said anything, or people wouldn't have known, and she would have just lived with the humiliation and the memory of this forever, like a lot of women do when this occurs.
Okay. And so the bulk of these sexual assaults that occurred happened with women who were incapacitated.
Yes.
All right. So in some sort of way, they had their faculties diminished. And so thus they, one, were not able to consent, and two, were not able to fight off their attackers.
Yeah, I mean, sexual predators look for the weakest prey. And normally that is a woman that's too intoxicated or a date rape drug, which will make them become too intoxicated. You know, or a woman that's alone by herself and, you know, then you can physically overpower her. But, you know, that's, you know, who is typically targeted.
All right. And how did you become involved with this? How did you become involved with the Jasmine Eiland case?
Family contacted us. Pretty much if there's a sexual assault case that people are talking about anywhere, you know, you start looking up online or you start asking who handles these, and that's not going to mess around. You know, I've taken on companies, corporations, entertainers, stars, whoever it is, you know, when something like this has happened. So it just is what it is. I don't care if you're black, white, you know, I've sued white people for sexual assault. I don't care who the person is. It's just, you know, if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, you're right. And I tell people all the time, I turn down 90% of the people that call.
What was it that made you want to take on this one?
Jesus, it's on video. You're looking at it.
Facts are
What's
right
wrong
there.
with people?
The proof is in the pudding.
I mean, good Lord, what? I don't even have that kind of proof in a lot of the cases. Like, you know, so that was a no-brainer that something's going wrong. I see a woman screaming and crying, and that could be a sister, daughter, you know, wife, girlfriend.
There's more evidence,
you know,
with Kenneka
like,
Jenkins
what
than
more
this.
do you want?
He didn't take Kenneka
but,
Jenkins.
You know, I turned down some
He's a
where
fraud.
I just, after doing research into her, doing research into the claims of what happened, that I won't move forward with it.
Okay.
So, you know, it's not one where you just take every single case. You know, you have to do your homework and see if it's valid.
Okay. And so so I want to hear, if you can speak about, what are your thoughts on people who are saying, well, she didn't have on any underwear, married woman going to the club, no underwear?
Well, I mean, like I said, even if she was walking around butt naked, it doesn't give anybody excuse to rape anybody. And I mean, I know plenty of women that go out without any underwear, so that's not anything to say. And married woman, just because you're married doesn't mean that you can't go to the club and have fun and have a good time. So anybody that's saying that's just crazy, because it doesn't matter what you're wearing. No means no. Period. Yeah. No means no.
And people talking about, oh, why would a pregnant woman go to the club or have a drink? She didn't know she was pregnant, people, until she got raped and she went to the hospital. So, so there's that little gem for everybody saying, why would a pregnant woman, go to the club, especially if, an attorney would say something like that. Well, how about that fact? She found out she was pregnant from this rape.
Oh, wow. That sounds awful. Poor fetus. Poor fetus. So then my follow-up question, though, is about people who are saying this is a money grab. Why go after the club?
She said poor fetus.
Financially motivated. Fetus. What are your thoughts on that?
The only language that corporations speak in is $. They're not going to make any kind of changes at that club or do anything different or increase security for hip hop night or R&B concerts or whatever it is until they write a check and understand that nobody's playing with them. That's how the world works. I've handled cases where there was a defective tire that was operating on people's cars that companies knew would kill people.
Wow.
They knew it would. But they didn't really give a crap because they had set aside a certain amount of money to take care of those certain amount of deaths. I've handled cases where there was toxic pollution underground in a certain area and the company did not give a crap that people were going to die. I handle police brutality cases where
we do a lot of night as well. So if you know that you're in an area or you have a crowd that has a propensity to shoot, you might need to check at the door for weapons. You need to have security, see if a fight's break out, break up the fight right then, make sure that no one gets shot. Our whole goal is to make sure that no one else gets sexually assaulted in a club like this. Make sure that they have proper security for people. How you stopping it?
Like rapists, like, oh, just because they caught Dominic, I'm not doing it. Come on, man. That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
Yeah, and look, man, and yes, it in a civil case, it is a financial settlement. But do you understand what her current life is? Jasmine, right now, wherever she goes, somebody tries to pull out a camera, or people giggle when she goes into a room or goes to a place. There's people like stalking her, like trying to film her and take a picture, and her image is everywhere online. She's got full blogs with people harassing her and making fun of her and calling a woman that has
made up. They never got no specific nothing. You a lawyer. Why you not filing reports, complaints, so you can bring up names?
Job with a company and is a manager.
These guys are just getting carried away.
Education is now being made into some kind of
I feel like this is a children's story.
Image.
That's what I'm not
called all kind of names.
This is a Slick Rick joint,
and will forever be remembered by the person who was sexually assaulted on video. So you're dang right that will be handled and valued significantly. And it is what it is.
And she deserves whatever she gets. She felt she had to explain to social.
It's emotional. It's psychological.
First of all, this is how you know they're retards. For her to stop getting harassed, I've been said it. Leave Facebook alone. No, I'm entitled to have a Facebook like everybody else. Then your ass go get public opinion. And this is why I'm like, they want everybody to change society for the deficiencies of whatever or whoever. Like, get out of here. It's easier for you to change. It's easier for you to quit and get off of Facebook due to what you experience. But no, they rather have everybody keep their opinion to themselves that doesn't correlate with theirs. Like, get out of here. Straight cornballs. Like, I never liked Chris. I don't like him. I don't like lawyers, period. This ain't no real lawyer. He talking about he took the case because it was on video. There's more evidence with Kenneka's, and there's more video as well. But you notice he ain't take that. So this is how you know he a liar. And that video don't mean nothing, man. That video is trash. It take about $10,000 to retain the lawyer. He's not doing this for free. Trust me. That's how you know it's not real. He come up for all the good cases, right? Alton Sterling, but nobody really knew who he was like that. Come on, man. Come on, buddy. And then this other guy, I don't know where he from, but he remind me of Arsenio Hall for Coming to America. You remember with Eddie, how he was like Simi was his chaperone or whatever? That's what this dude remind me of, like his chaperone, but I don't know, man. I'm tired of the psyops and the false flags. I don't know about y'all. I'm tired of them. Not that I'm paying mind to them, but anybody that want to believe them, believe them. Because at the end of the day, what's that story of Babylon? Sodom and Gomorrah, I mean.
Logical, is mental. She'll never be the same.
Got turned to soul.
She's going to have to go through.
Are vegans healthy? Are vegetarians healthy? French fries and beer are vegan, so you tell me. But seriously, the easy part for most of my clients who go vegan or vegetarian is cutting out the meat.
Years of therapy. This pushed her to almost ending her life. And this is her family is being affected by it. Her kids are being affected. You know, this is a lot bigger than, you know, just that act. This is going to go on with her for the rest of her life. And if you can ask her if it's no amount of money that she would take in replace of this, if she could just erase that, and if this could never happen, there's no amount of money.
She's gonna do it again.
Oh wow! But since we are talking about money, so Christopher, we hear that you are the billion-dollar lawyer. Tell me some more about that.
He just made a $1 billion deal.
Teenage girl was at a birthday party in an apartment complex. The security guard raped her on a picnic table.
What?
And I sued the apartment complex and the security company for hiring somebody like that individual who never should have been hired and who raped that little girl. And the company wouldn't settle, and we went to trial and went to a jury, and the jury awarded her $1 billion, which was the highest ever in history for a rape verdict and the highest ever for an African-American female in any case.
And he's still complaining.
It just
now he got 1/3 of $1 billion, which is 300, probably 400,000. Yeah, 300 million allegedly to his firm, I guess.
For a lot, because a mixed jury, white, black, Hispanic, valued a
and Jasmine Eiland still got to go fund me up.
Black girl at basically a limitless price.
Hey, what's going on?
And meant a lot.
What up, Tanya?
You know, myself and my team.
Tanya is TKO.
Wow,
she's some Jamaican.
Well, you know what? I applaud you. Congratulations.
Look, she's Jamaican, and I have nothing against foreigners, but I want y'all just to pay notice that during this operation, only foreigners had access to them. Dominique Williams' first interview was with a foreigner. She's kicking it with a foreigner right here. We all know Zach was foreign. Candace, that does the interviews, that's still around, foreign. So we're seeing a repeat. As far as Chris, I don't know. He could be Haitian. I got a Haitian boy that looks just like him.
I'm happy to hear that. And you said that corporations, the only language that they do understand is money.
Yes.
So you're going to work to create a way that this hurts so bad that this will not happen again.
With that, but you know, it's not just about a check. You know, we in any case I settle, I ask for institutional changes. I ask for, you know, a person to be added that will just help patrol and monitor women that may be
that's what they're trying to pass, a Dominique law.
I'll ask for additional security at events. I'll ask that hip hop nights be treated the same as other nights. I'll ask for, you know, an array of different things that'll protect the community. You know what I mean? Like it's if you handle one of these cases, you've got to find a way to do more than just take care of your client. You know, in Walter Scott, we were able to get body cams on every police officer in the whole state, which people have been fighting for. Body cams will stop a cop from kicking your butt sometimes because he knows he's on film. You know, not all the time, but it'll stop you. So we'll try and find ways to protect more than just her.
Okay. All right. So then I have two questions.
She did it before. Perfect question. Yeah, she
I actually
did it
have
before.
3 questions. Okay.
She didn't do the rape before, but her brother gave us a hint that she gave somebody some before and then flipped and changed her mind. And you know, he knows that, but he ain't put it fully out there, but he hinted. But she did do the help me a year before for no reason.
Okay. Was the club at fault? And if they were at fault, what were they at fault for?
Absolutely. Not having proper security, not monitoring that dance floor, not securing that second area where she was assaulted a second time and taken out of there. Not having working security cameras out there where you would have known a woman is getting.
So you mean to tell me that Dominic actually had to get seconds? That stuff was so good on the dance floor, he had to get seconds. But not only that, after he got first and seconds, they both went about their business. She went and partied with Jbug and was still hanging with him. Explain that to us, Chris, or you can't. Can you or you can't? Can you or you can't?
On your back patio. And a number of other things that they're doing that they know I know they're doing. That'll be disclosed during this lawsuit.
Oh wow! And then what? This is a huge question. I don't know which one of you will be able to answer this. And so, for those of you who are just joining us right now, we have almost 400 people online. And then I'm gonna let
that ain't even nothing. For she should have way more than that. But yo, this is my question. This is my question for Chris, dumbass. Chris, when you did your PowerPoint, you never showed no assault. You never showed nowhere on that video that had to be blurred out. Anybody notice that? Think about it. If there was an assault, he would have put it on the PowerPoint screen like, look, you could clearly see him entering her. Now, him spitting on his hand and all that shit, that don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. That don't mean shit. She not even saying he did nothing. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing.
a few people ask some questions after I get these 2 questions in. But one of my big questions, so right now we're talking to the lawyers of Jasmine Eiland, and they're talking about what's going on with the civil part of the case where they're suing the nightclub for what is it that they're being sued for? Reckless negligence, reckless endangerment. What is it?
Yes, negligence.
Reckless negligence?
No, negligence.
Just negligence. Okay, and so what does that mean? What does the negligence mean? And then I have my follow-up question.
Yeah, they're being sued for negligence, which means that they negligently performed their duties that night, meaning that there's no way that a woman should have been able to be lifted up and carried off into another area like that. That club has a strict policy of if you even appear intoxicated, you will be kicked out of that club. Or if you appear intoxicated, you won't even get in that club. So let alone her slumped over, hanging there, you know, they should have intervened. You know, reckless indifference is punitive damages, where we're saying that they were so reckless with not having enough security guards and knowing different things like this happen in their facility, especially since it's now coming to light that it's happened multiple times and people have been arrested on the dance floor after raping somebody. They're well aware of what happens there. So, you know,
they're well aware.
It just never should have happened.
Now they're well aware.
Is there a responsibility that comes along with having a liquor license that this club just did not perform?
Yeah, you know, there's a responsibility to run your establishment properly and make sure that when you have a headline artist that security is handled effectively. And you know that.
You saw that dot? That's not no dot. That's his bald head shining. Yo, that's his bald head shining. I thought that was some type of glitch. That's his bald head shining.
Instead, it was decreased.
Okay, so what changes are you going to push for? And then, so listen, to those of you who are inside the room, thumbs up the video and get your questions ready. I'm going to take 3 questions from you all, so make them good questions.
From 300
and
people.
So what are you all pushing for?
Changes at the club. Making sure that there is somebody that monitors the dance floor. That doesn't mean you have to break somebody up if they're dancing with somebody, as I've saw one comment say. No, it means if you're slumped over, hanging there.
Oh, that is a glitch.
Visibly looking like you have passed out. That yes, you do intervene and ask, "Are you okay?" and what's going on.
Yeah, that's the
that
sun.
You don't let a woman, a tiny woman, or any woman,
that's
be carried off into a secluded area. I mean, you know, just because you go to the club doesn't mean it's the Wild Wild West. You know, you have to do your job. You know, this isn't caveman days where you hit a woman over the head and drag her off. It's just ridiculous. I mean, you know, it just doesn't happen. You know, it shouldn't happen. You know, it's not that serious. Like, dude, there.
Who noticed he brought up Jbug, but he never brought up the stuff that Jbug said that nothing happened. For instance, when she got in the car, he almost raped me. Never got brought up. Tanya didn't bring it up. Like, come on, man. And that's what I'm talking about. These YouTubers don't have time to really be putting no work in to be asking no real questions. She's just giving them a mainstream interview. And what good is having YouTubers if all they're going to do is give mainstream interviews? Because that's all they shooting for.
Somebody
got 120,000 subscribers, 300 in the chat. And this is the interview she giving.
Will sleep with you or that will go home with you in that club. It ain't that serious to try.
Me personally, I'm prepared for one interview. After that, I know I'm going to expose him as a fake. And he's never going to do another one. Take it as it is. Don't let these people fake just to keep them around. You see why YouTube's in turmoil right now? People kept fake people around just to have them around. And they still keeping fake people around. So what's going to happen? They all going to make up and they going to be looking at the subs that was dissing them side-eye. And they going to start making videos about their asses. Good. They already started. Good.
Okay. All right. And then question, what community efforts are going to be performed or are underway for victims, for Jasmine, for whomever?
The man got $1 billion.
A number of the women's rights groups are in the process of planning protests at the club.
Protests. He's with Black Lives Matter, y'all.
And for the club to speak out.
He brought them up already.
Accept responsibility.
I'm like, my chav, this was over.
And stop attacking Jasmine.
Shut my mouth. Playing some PS4. Anything, just
okay. And Josh, are you aware of what else is being put in play in Atlanta or around the world? What movements are starting up?
Well, we have a couple of groups out there. They're protesting Opera Nightclub. There's a couple Facebook groups out there in support of Jasmine.
Monique and them.
Worldwide,
Monica.
We're still looking for a little bit more support for her. But right now it's just a couple of protests, Facebook groups, and I just want to thank everyone that's out there that is supporting her.
This the one talking about you got to protect your queen.
And, fighting for the right side.
Okay, so what can people do? You said you're looking for more support. What can people do to provide more support in an instance like this for Jasmine, especially, or whomever? What can people do?
Speak up. You know, the biggest thing is it's not that the people that are trolling outnumber the people that are supporting her. It's just that they're more vocal.
Oh,
so
boy.
Speak up that you support her. There's a number of celebrities that I've talked to privately that support her, but just haven't said it publicly. And my thing is,
oh my gosh, do you hear this? He's spoken to celebrities that support her, but they won't come out publicly with her. What does that tell you about the people you're associated with? They not shit.
I feel you. You could believe that this was wrong, it shouldn't have happened, but speak up. You know, the more you speak up, the more the person, the predator that's out there that may do something like this starts to see the backlash for me trying to do this is just too serious. So maybe I'll just chill.
Right. We just want everyone that a predator that will potentially do this, no, it's not right. Don't drug anybody. No means no. If somebody appears too intoxicated to consent, don't try to have sex with them. I mean, simple things, but to some people it's complicated. Some people no might mean yes to them. No means no, and you need to understand that.
Okay. So speak up. So you're talking about people who are witnesses, people who are victims, speak up. And speaking up will provide support for Jasmine and other victims?
Yeah, victims and supporters. You know, if you support her, you don't know just how much it means where she may see a positive comment supporting her that could brighten her whole day rather than for tearing her down.
I don't think she's worried about brightening the baby inside her belly's day by going to the club, twerking, splitting, faking assaults, and my favorite, being pantyless, splitting on that hard floor to the point where one of the judges had to come get her. All of that is planned. All of this is planned. But I want y'all to also please take notice that when I was on Vanna White's live, I asked her 2 questions. She gave me a no for both of them, but then came back and, you know, elaborated on why. I asked her, 1, do you have any other footage other than Jasmine of the club? She said no. And then I asked her if there was a lot of foreigners in the club that night. She told me no. So this is my thing. If she was so concerned about Jasmine to the point where she pulled out her phone to record her, she really must have known nothing happened, because at the end of the day, she's saying nothing happened. And if it did happen, it was consensual to the point where she didn't know anything went wrong. But what caused her to pull out her phone at that moment and record what she recorded, since she's not, you know, accustomed to just pulling out her phone, getting club footage, which I found is weird since she's so photogenic on Facebook. Think about it. She'll give you a live every day. But prior to this, she has her real account, which we don't care about. What we want to know is, based on your photogenicness on Facebook now, you should still have a photogenicness on your old Facebook, which would have led to you doing your own video in the club. Like, yo, look, y'all, I'm just chilling at this club, blah, blah, blah. So you mean to tell me, Vanna, you never video recorded yourself at a club before? If no, I'll understand that, and you will just be supporting my theory that you pulled out that video just for Eiland. And that would make her a credible witness, because she was worried to the point that she pulled out the camera, and she's still saying nothing happened. I think she's the best witness the defense has, man. There is no witness for Jasmine. They don't got no witness. They don't have one witness. Jasmine's not even a witness for herself. They're using a video with nothing on it but her corny help me and him spitting on his hand. Now, when I first saw the video, it looked like a gang rape. Tell the truth. When you first saw it, did that joint look like they had her in a huddle? It looked like they had her in a huddle and they were taking turns. But you see how videos can be, and that's what they wanted. But that's my whole thing. Vanna White is the only credible witness, and she's saying that what that girl's saying ain't true. Now, just think about that. They don't got no witness. He's going by a video, and the video don't show nothing, or he would have showed it in his little stupid PowerPoint. He showed every stupid, irrelevant thing else.
Okay, I got you.
Me and Josh can handle it. I don't care about comments or negative stuff. I deal with that with civil rights cases. If I was offended by people saying that we're just after the money or this or that or judging us, then I couldn't fight for African Americans in civil rights cases, because the hell I go through handling a police case is nowhere near explainable. So you know, it's all good. I don't mind the criticism, because I'm gonna fight for our people no matter what. I don't care what kind of case it is, cop case or rape case. You know, God gave me the ability to do this for a reason, and I'm just going to do what I have to do to make sure that
sounds like Christ, right?
Okay, so there are a number of questions that are scrolling in. There are about 400 people watching live right now, so make sure you like the video, share the video, and tell people about the video, and show your support for Jasmine. The number one question that's coming in right now is, how is Jasmine now? Is she receiving support? Is she getting counseling?
Yes, Jasmine is in therapy, and she's getting a lot of support. You know, like I said, the support she's getting,
Therapy
a lot of
is
people
just
just
for
don't
financial
see it,
damages.
You know, she's getting a lot of love
Remember,
and
we
support
saw
now.
her and Trails
now
at
that a
the
lot of the
welfare
effects have been
office. She
cleared
probably
up.
was getting Medicaid.
Now that a lot of people saw that second video, which is
so she probably was getting Medicaid, so it could pay for her therapy. These guys are the worst. Why are they in the human resources office after he picked up a case? He should know, like, here, I'm gonna front you this money until we win. He know this is phony.
You know, indisputable. And because of the behavior by the assailant and his team, I think it had a reverse effect on the support that he allegedly.
And this is corny because I already told you, I think the white guy, if anybody poisoned the drink, it would have been him. Nobody's interested in him. We still haven't got his name. Now do you see the point of these psyops? These psyops bring out the snitch in everybody.
I didn't hear that last part. Say it again.
I said, and of the comments and interviews of the alleged sexual assailant and his team, I think it had the reverse effect of, you know, taking away support for him.
Okay, and we have just a minute or so left, and a question coming in: did Jasmine go out to eat after the club?
Boy.
No, she did not go out to eat. That's a false comment that was on Facebook. She did not go out to eat. She went straight home.
Lies. We got the video. Lies. We got the video, you liars.
She dropped Jbug off and then went home, but she didn't go out to eat.
Okay. And so, you know what? We're going to get out of here. I thank you so much for coming out. Ultimately, let's talk about the last question we're going to end on. Well, there are people who are asking, was there any drug in her system? But we don't know that yet because the tox screen is not back yet.
Yeah, we won't know that until the GBI report is done.
Right. So last question, big picture. Overall, like just from a macrocosmic level, what would you like to come of all of this ultimately?
Macrocosmic levels.
That Jasmine can positively look back on this and know that her speaking up and having the courage to come forward, she didn't have to come forward. That the next time this happens to some young black girl,
so they know it's going to happen again.
If it's at a house, no matter where it is, that she has the courage to say, you know what, I remember that girl Jasmine that came forward, that this didn't happen, and held that club accountable, held the man accountable, and that, you know, I'm going to speak up.
Okay. Josh?
All right. Overall, I want Jasmine to get justice. I want her to heal. It's going to take a lot of therapy, but I want her to be able to have the best therapy out there. And
soft-spoken big guys.
I want these clubs to know that you need to have the proper security. Because if it's not a sexual assault, it's going to be a shooting. If it's not going to be a shooting, it's going to be something else.
So that's stereotypical.
You don't have to have G.I. Joe or James Bond or The Rock, but just have somebody out there properly trained, patrolling, and looking out for the people.
Nazi Germany. Yeah, I know.
The last thing, I just want, you know, people to stop victim shaming. And I want the young people to know that no means no. If somebody's too drunk to even walk or anything,
who caught them? Who caught them in their lie now? Stop.
Shamers.
They got caught in their lie. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
This could be one of your family members. It could be your mother. It could be your sister.
We all let it slip
just
us.
Put yourself in that situation and just do the right thing.
Stop.
Okay.
Oh, they lucky.
Well, you know what? I think that this situation is going to go down in history. I think that this is going to have
they blew their whole case.
A widespread ripple effect in our system.
Stop. They blew their whole case. Did you catch it? Who's here with me? Put something in the comments. They just blew their whole case. I wish I was Dominique's lawyer. Stop. They blew their whole case. Oh my gosh, I can't believe them. He slipped up. Chris, listen.
Some young black girl, no matter if it's in a club, if it's at a house, no matter where it is,
He blew this whole case.
She has the courage to say, you know what? I remember that girl, Jasmine, that came forward, stood up and said, this shouldn't happen.
It's right here. Her last question.
To make sure that, you know, we're all right.
Okay, so there are a number of questions that are scrolling in. There are about 400 people watching live right now, so make sure you like the video, share the video, and tell people about the video.
I'm not gonna lie. She didn't mean to, but she threw them the ultimate curveball, and they struck out. I can't believe it. I can't believe she asked that question, but she asked the pantyless question, which is good. But she asked, did you go out? Did she go out to dinner, right? He fucked up. He fucked the whole entire case up answering that. So keep in mind, listen, you rocking with the Real to the 7th Power best.
And show your support for Jasmine. The number one question that's coming in right now is, how is Jasmine now? Is she receiving support? Is she getting counseling?
Yes, Jasmine is in therapy, and she's getting a lot of support. You know, like I said, the support she's getting, a lot of people just don't see it, but, you know, she's getting a lot of love and support now.
Watch this,
now that a lot of the facts have been cleared.
He ain't say it yet, Don Diva. Wait.
Saw that second video, which is,
we let it slip by our ears. It just hit me after this guy was talking.
And because of the behavior by the assailant,
wait till you see
and his team, I think it had a reverse effect on the support.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do a short video on this right here.
I didn't hear that last part. Say it again.
I said, and of the comments and interviews of
do you record this right
the alleged sexual assailant and his team, I think it had the reverse effect of, you know, taking away support for him.
Okay, and we have just a minute or so left, and a question coming in: did Jasmine go out to eat after the club?
No, she did not go out to eat. That's a false comment that was on Facebook. She did not go out to eat. She went straight home. Okay. Well, after, she dropped Jbug off and then went home, but she didn't go out to eat.
Okay, and so you know what? We're gonna get out of here. I thank you so much for coming out. Ultimately, let's talk about the last question we're going to end on. Well, there are people who are asking.
That's the question that bodied them. I paused it late.
Was there any drug in her system? But we don't know that yet because the tox screen is not back yet.
So I gotta pause my.
Yeah, we won't know that until the GBI report is.
There it goes.
Right. So last question, big picture. Overall, like just from a macrocosmic level, what would you like to come of all of this?
She was so catatonic in the club that she got raped and couldn't do nothing but drive home. Get out of here. You just confirmed that she was conscious enough to drive home.
Her speaking up.
She dropped Jbug off and the other guy, but she was so catatonic in the club, she got raped twice.
Young
Get
black
the
girl,
fake out of here.
No matter if it's in a club,
this answers itself.
We're at a house, no matter where it is, that she has the courage to say, you know what? I remember that girl, Jasmine, that came forward, stood up. Don't need the exact same type of African American where you can
shut up.
Think about but how do we even know what type of lawyer to call? And then also, I want you all to let people know how to get in touch with you. And then we're going to jump out of here for real, for real.
The only thing we don't do is criminal law. You know, we don't do criminal law. Like, you know, as I said earlier, we handle civil litigation, which is someone shot in an apartment, someone killed in motor vehicle collision, motorcycle collision, sexual assault. And I specifically handle civil rights cases, which was something I decided to take on a few years back just because the police brutality was getting outrageous, and you know we needed to step up on that. You can find us at www.stewarttrial.com or just email me at cstewart, STWART, at stewarttrial.com.
And then you can reach me at attorneyjoshpalmer.com, or you can do fightandwin.com, or you can reach me at joshua@fightandwin.com, FIGHTANDWIN.com, or you can just DM me in my Instagram at Attorney Palmer.
Yeah, okay. We'll send you our information so you could link it to the video.
Okay, well, you know what? I will put all of the links below So you know what? This has been so insightful.
All they doing is welcoming a committee of fake rape callers. They're going to say Jasmine's is fake. I might as well call them for my fake joint.
So I've learned so much. And so for all of the people who are watching right now, reach out to an attorney, reach out to somebody, even if you're not sure whether or not a company is at fault or whether you are. It pays to just ask the question so that we're not one of those people who are just taking it. Like all of these people who are like, oh, Jasmine just wants money from the club. They're ignorant because the club is at fault. There's so many businesses that are taking our money and we're just sitting here getting run over. You know what? I feel fired up right now. People want to know where you're located, counselors.
Oh my gosh, does this sound like an American woman? I'm fired up right now. Does that sound like an American woman? Come on, man. These are not Americans on these YouTube channels just happening to get good interviews. These guys ain't talking to no Americans. Americans gonna ask common sense questions. She just so ecstatic that she was the foreigner picked that she's bowing down like she got Hillary Rodham Clinton on the shit. But let's continue.
Anywhere. I'm in Chicago fighting the Antoine Galat case when the police shot him in that vehicle and said he tried to run him over, which was a lie. I'm in Florida. We handle him wherever.
He always talking about these other cases. You know. Why he got so much detail on all his other cases, but he can't tell us sheesh about Jasmine's?
So that's why I'm always tired and I'm always on the road.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to let you, how did you two connect? I'm curious about that.
Josh joined our firm recently because he's one of the best young rock star lawyers out there. I look young, but I've been a lawyer for a long time.
You only been a lawyer 15 years, and you are young, counselor.
You know, it's that
the audience is talking about how dapper you two look. You two are looking good, brothers.
That's the main thing I wanted to tell people about these YouTubers. There's not even the YouTubers itself, but the YouTubers and the chats and all that. They are so infatuated with image and all that shit that they're suckers for anything. And this is why the majority of people are stuck on the YouTubers they stuck on based on the visual. They don't give a fuck about the principle, the morals, nothing. They just all about material, superficial bullshit. And this is why they lost, and this is why they're going to continue to be lost, and this is why they getting taken advantage of by these foreigners now. And I'm not stepping in for nothing. I'm going to let them enslave them.
Appreciate that.
All right. So on that note, thank you all so much for coming out. If you have any further questions, write them below. I'm going to put their contact information in the description of the video after we get off of this broadcast. No matter where it is that you're seeing this video.
I don't think we need nothing more. Shut up, please, Tanya. And I got nothing against you. That was a great interview. You did a good job. I'm just want my American women to step up so we don't have our young people looking up to people like you that is watering stuff down just because you may not want to lose your visa. I don't know what the fuck it is, but we can't trust people that the state could say, get out this country, and they got to go. You got to realize that. But anyway, that was basically it. You got any questions before we get out of here? I just uploaded that video right there. I'm going to upload it to the page once I get done putting it on YouTube. But as far as I'm concerned, he blew that whole situation by saying all that shit that she was so drunk, taken advantage of. She was supposed to get put out. She was so drunk, she was supposed to get put out the club. But the other lawyer just said she took somebody home. She need to be arrested for DUI driving, period. We see how drunk she is on that video. If she still drove behind the wheel, she got to get locked up for drunk driving or admit that she wasn't drunk at all. Get out of here. They're liars. They're two-faced liars, psyop actors. Anybody got anything to say before we get out of here, man? I'm over here putting this video on. I'm going to take it off the Kennekaveli channel. I'm going to just put it on the Planet of the Fakes monetized channel. If people want to see it, show your love, go over there. If not, do what you do. We over here on Facebook. Shout out to Ms. Don Diva holding that Planet of the Fakes women's page down. I'm about to give a Pigstar HH News. Hold it down, Ms. Don Diva. Shout out to Prissy B holding down that Planet of the Fake pets. Shout out to Cherry Girl for sharing all those YouTube videos, making great YouTube videos. Wilma Justice as well. Miss Anointed News you can use. Tanja even holding it down as well. King Ben, Nilla, Truck. Information does not stop. I just want to shout all y'all out. Actually, like, I need help with all the information y'all bringing. That's why we got to start focusing on the pages. Get this information to the people. The group is important, but the pages are more important, because you're going to get 1,000 likes on the pages. You might not even get it looked at in the group. So let's just stop focusing on groups so hard. Let's focus on those pages, because I'm going to start doing the videos based on the pages, not what's in the group. The group is kind of hard, you know what I mean? Because I got to take it out the group. But the pages are public, so it's nothing for me to just show the pages. So let's just start focusing on the pages more. Shout out to It's Me V as well. Everybody just keep on their thoughts, going through stuff right now like we all are. And let me see if there's any questions before we get out of here. And I just did this live because I wanted to test it to Facebook. We're about to start hitting Facebook up more, because again, people stupid. They don't know Facebook is monetized too. So we're gonna start monetizing these pages and hopefully like earning people money with them. So let's just start focusing on these pages more. Let's not worry about the group like that. Good stuff should go in the group that we more than likely want to discuss or see on a live. But those good like posts and little things like that, you know, the website joints, definitely send those to the pages. And, you know, just let me know which ones you think is a good one. But we don't really got to emphasize on a group like that. The group seems to be comatose right now, but the pages seem to be appreciating it. I've been getting comments back and forth all day, and that's what it's about, you know what I mean? Because that's, a lot of people are not privy to the information that we are. So I want to thank all of y'all, Keegan as well, you know what I mean? So Helen, Casey as well too. So I just want to say that I'm back in the comments. It was only like 3 of us here, and that was enough for me, because this is going to go on a 24-hour channel anyway. Damn, I got a real bad delay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, all right, Miss Don Diva, that's what's up. That's what's up. Let me just see, you had any other thing? Yep, you rock with the best. Civil litigation case only, no criminal. They brought up, in the beginning, you may have missed it, but Tanya, I can't even pause the live. That's retarded, and it should have been off already. But Tanya brought up the criminal. She didn't know the difference between a criminal and a civil case. So that let us know that this YouTuber is totally lost in the sauce, regurgitating information, bringing emotions in it and stuff like that. It's nothing wrong with it, but I tell you right now, the people following her just based off the look and the feel and wanting to be her, they're going to go in FEMA camps just like, not her, because she's going to go back to her country, but they're going to be going to FEMA camps because YouTubers like this are going to be giving bull crap stories that control them. And I'm not saying it to her personally, but I'm saying that people that don't got a horse in a fight, she don't got no real horse in this fight. She from a whole nother country. She already made it big in her country. Once you get one American to look up to you, you made it big. But with that being said, we're going to get out of here, man. We're going to get out of here. Thank you, Miss Don Diva, for holding this down with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Shout out to Keegan for this. She actually brought this to me. So I definitely want to shout her out, you know what I mean? So with that being said, they could keep their psyops and their false flags. We busy doing more productive things over here. You understand what I'm saying? Anything else, you could just keep that on the YouTube streets, which you don't even got to be at.
And this is forming and really muddying the waters of it. So I'm going to help you with some ideas to understand exactly what a false flag is. And then when you spot one, right, when you spot one occurring and blowing up in the news, then you can easily be like, ha, they're not going to trick me or fake me out. So what is exactly a false flag? So a false flag is, I'm just literally going to read this, it's a covert operation by, it could either be a government, it could be a corporation, it could be really any group. It can, it could be anybody can do a false flag. But it's designed to deceive the public in a way to make it look like who carried out the attack or whatever happened isn't exactly who really did it, okay? So especially with the, you could say, controlled mainstream media that we have, it's very easy for the powers that be to stage a false flag and then put a specific narrative out there to make it look like it was completely different than what actually happened. So this is all a false flag is. Okay. Out from the mainstream media and troll campaigns on the internet and things.
Now they're using
a false
the YouTube
flag could mean that a real attack occurred and people got hurt, explosions happened. It could mean that, but it also could mean that nothing happened, right? It could mean that the event was a complete hoax. It could mean that nobody died and certain narratives were just spewed out in the news that, you know, when nothing really happened. So it could mean either thing.
Buffering, 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 boom. That joint just started buffering. Like, come on now. Stop playing with us, little homie.
Something that really many false flags to enhance their agenda. So that's why we need to be really keen in discerning what they really are so we aren't duped. False flag could mean nobody got hurt. It could very well mean that some people got hurt. And the term false flag originates from the old days of naval battle, because what would happen is that essentially, you know, all is fair in love and war. Ships would literally hoist an enemy flag up.
All right. You hear how he says ships would hoist the enemy's flag up? An enemy's flag in our situation is our complexion. So the pirates in this situation, they don't have flags to raise. But the elite are using people with our complexion as the flag to get close to us. I.e., look at the people on the screen. Those are the flags. The elite controlling them are the pirates on the ship. They want to get next to our ship, which is the American ship, to control the American people from the grassroots. So as their ship gets closer to us, all we see are these faces like, no, this is one of ours. This is one of ours. And you know, nothing is more stronger than acceptance than wanting to accept people. So I'm letting you know why they keep running these false flags and why foreigners are used. They're used because they look like us and they can identify like us sometimes. But not only that, the other foreigners that got to do their jobs like invade America, they need the people to be as submissive and docile as possible. So one way to do that is by having foreigners they look up to, which they're going to eventually shit on them and lower their self-esteem even lower. And it ain't going to be shit they could do about it. Because instead of learning what's going to help them to keep up with the future, they too busy watching foreigners staying in stupid places and staying as messy and as ignorant as they came to YouTube, while the foreigners are making all that money, learning stuff, and gonna teach their kids how to enslave their kids. But again, this is their business. They've been enslaving them this long. They're gonna keep enslaving them. But that's the whole gist of this. It's basically crabs in a barrel. So a crab in a barrel is gonna keep you watching the foreigners that keep you just stagnated as they are. Don't you notice the most popular YouTubers are like almost the most primitive? They advanced nowhere in 2 years. In fact, they're against progress. They're against revenue generation. They're against people starting their own channels and making videos they can't make. So please, peep game. With that being said, let's finish this outro.
To be able to get really close to the enemy ship, because they wouldn't realize that these guys were not their friends. So the ship would pull up right next to them and then just blow the crap out of them. So that's...
They know what I should be doing.
What? We got our own bottle, baby boy bags. I stuck in a Facebook group and I saw flags. Ain't none of y'all American, you caught that.
Have a wonderful night, Queen, and what's mine is yours. Just always know that, Queen. We out of here. Planet of the Fakes and Planet of the Fakes Women and Jasmine Eiland, Assault Real or Fake collaboration.